Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Joy of Needle Felting. In today's episode, we will be making the back legs of the Chimera. Now, for the back legs of the Chimera, I want to do both of them to be goat legs. I've never done hooven goat legs before for any build or any type of creation at all, so this is going to be all new to me. I had to study the anatomy of a goat very detailed, and their legs are very unique, to say the least. They're very muscular, especially around their thigh, because that's their hind leg. That's what they use to jump and move around. And by the way, I don't mean a farm goat. I'm referring to a mountain goat. By the way, because farm goats and mountain goats are very very different types of goats. But I have to make sure I keep the bottom peg, the bottom part of the armature exposed, because that is what will be slotted into the hoof after I make it, which should be done off screen. Now, I have to make sure I get it very tight around so it doesn't stay loose. That's the most important thing, just like the body. If it's loose, it'll be funny and it won't work. See, this is where I tested, see? It's loose still, very loose, so I have to tighten the wool around it much further. And it takes time to do that, to get the wool that tight. But if you get it nice and tight, it's sturdy. It'll last. And there I am checking the needle because I hit the armature wire. But yeah, it's time consuming, but yet it goes fast sometimes. Unlike the core of the body, the core of these legs were rather fast. In fact, this video turned out to be only 10 minutes long, which was shocking to me considering how long I filmed for, because it felt like I filmed longer, but the legs went quick. If you're wondering what I'm doing off screen, I am just checking references for the legs, pictures, and whatnot. I keep measuring and remeasuring to make sure I'm getting the right dimensions. Because even though when you put the colored wool on, when you start layering the colored wool onto it, it gets bigger when you put that wool on. So you have to make sure you get it to a certain way, or else everything's going to be out of proportion. That's why I have to be very careful to make sure everything is the way I have it all planned out. I do my little swirl technique and get all those extra fibers into the thing. I believe I have it all tight now, so I'm very happy. Which means it's time to get more wool and start working on the upper part of the leg. And as I said, now that it's starting to go into more parts of the leg, it won't turn at all now. That is beauty. And now time for our first cut. We're further up the leg. The leg is a bit tricky because goats' legs are funny. Like I said in the beginning of the video, they're funny legs. They're thin at the bottom and thick on top, and I try to capture that as much as possible. Especially I want this Chimera to be perfect. Fun facts about the Chimera. Well, I wouldn't call them fun facts. It's just a little history about the Chimera. As I am basing this off the Greek Chimera, the Greek Chimera is the offspring of Echidna, the mother of monsters, and Typhon, the giant beast creature, one of the most deadliest mythical creatures in Greek mythology, who is the son of Titans. I'm not sure if that makes Typhon a Titan or not, though some of the mythical accounts say that Titan is the offspring of Gaia and Tartarus, which I'm not sure how that would be, since Tartarus is a place and not a person, or a mythical entity. How would Gaia give birth to the equivalent of hell? Greek mythology is weird. Of course, it is coming from the mythology that has their chief god turning into everything and having his way across all of Greece and siring many demigods. Greek mythology, everyone. Though Norse mythology is no different. If you want to talk about Norse mythology, look up the story of Slifnir, Odin's horse, six-legged horse. It's funny knowing who gave birth to that horse. Seriously, if you're interested in mythology, the story of Slifnir is one to look up. I'm trying a new technique here because as I'm working on this upper part of the leg, which will become the thigh, instead of busting out my 8-needle holder tool, I'm using 2 needles at once. I've seen many people do this, and it works. It makes it go faster. Though I will admit, it is very uncomfortable to hold both needles in one hand, especially if you want to keep them spaced apart. Now I'm rolling the top part of this into a ball now, because that is very important, because that's going to be the thigh. And the thigh is the part that's going to be connected into the back of the body. And that is, it has to be large enough to fill in that gap I left for the thigh. At the end of this video, I start measuring it up to make sure it looks good with the body. You'll see that soon. But I truly do love mythology. It's like all my major needle felting projects so far have been mythical creatures. These literally are my 3 favorite mythical creatures. My first one was the Phoenix. I might be biased, but I love that mythical creatures with all my heart, as I named my channel after it. The second was the Kitsune, the 9-tailed fox of Japanese mythology, though Chinese and Korean have their own versions of it as well, gradually getting darker and twisted, depending on which region you look at. And to finish off my mythical projects, which are, I believe, which I call my advertisement, I'm making my final favorite mythical creature, which is the Chimera. And as I needle felt all these in, it's time to get a jump cut to make it look, to save you some time as well. And here we go. Though I wouldn't say I got much done, it got bigger. That's pretty much it, as I put more wool on. And you have to needle felt this a lot to make it sturdy and make it act as the core. And the core of the upper legs, the thigh of the Chimera, you gotta get it just right, because the whole back legs, the back of the Chimera is going to be built upon these thighs, these goat legs. And I have to make sure I don't make them too big, because then the snake tail won't fit in properly. But as I'm getting to the point where it matches the drawings and the pictures as I take it over and look, it's getting to the point where I'm very satisfied with it, but I just have to round these edges a little more and get all the little fuzzy bits tucked inside. I'm glad I was able to keep the shape of the armature wire as I did it. Funnily enough, they look like giant drumsticks. Ironic. That was a very funny point when I was doing this. I know you don't hear me in the background because I have the video muted as I do the what's the word I'm looking for? The voiceover. I'm joking around with myself on how much they look like chicken wings or drumsticks. Funny, another thing, one of the models I was using, pictures models I mean, was an actual goat leg that you would cook, like a butchered goat leg. And as macabre as that sounds, it was the perfect way to examine how it should look if it's detached. I know it sounds macabre and gory, but it served as the most anatomically correct picture I could have used for making this leg. And I just gotta fill in these little gaps, change the YouTube video I'm watching in the background while I'm doing all this. Oh, and if you ever try needle felting, be careful picking it up and needle felting it directly in your hands. It's very dangerous. I shouldn't be doing that. But, hey, I like to live on the edge. And it wouldn't be the first time I stuck my hands with needle felting. Surprisingly, I haven't stuck my hands yet, which I am proud of. Give me time, though. But now we're pretty much getting to the point where I'm satisfied with this. Though I try to keep it round and try to keep it flat in certain areas because I got to build up the color wool still, which we'll be doing very soon. We only have, I believe, the front legs to do after this. It's getting that knob end, yeah, the bottom end of it fitted. Make sure it's tight and nice and round. And I'm testing to make sure it fits, and you can all see. But now, and two. Magic, isn't it? We needed two of them. We got two of them. And as I fit them on the body, it works. It actually fits perfectly. I know you can't see the top half of the body, but I assure you, it fits perfectly. Now, all that's left is the front of the legs, which won't be hard to do. So that'll be it for this episode of The Joy of Needle Felting. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you return for the next episode. Thank you all for watching. And if you want to check out my Instagram and my commission page or my Twitter, all the links are down in the description below. Be sure to check them out and subscribe to see the next episode where we will be taking on the front legs now. And yes, there will magically be two of them at the end of that video as well, though I won't jerk around with it in the background. But with all that said, this has been Black Phoenix. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.